what an atmosphere. It's deafening. And Strauss would have been trying to shut out all that applause as McGrath was charging in. Can be very distracting, and you just sort of lose your focus momentarily. But just getting into what the England openers have to do, I don't think they have to take any huge risks early. I don't think Michael Vaughan is that sort of player anyway. He's very orthodox in this style of play, and he'll play the elegant cover drive and off drive. He plays a nice pull shot and cut shot.
Nicely played. They should look for two. Oh, that's not great running. Really got to take them on. He's got a good arm, Mitchell Johnson, but it was wide of him. They take a single. So England off the mark. Vaughan on strike. One of the big dangers, I guess, is the brilliance of the Australians in the field, with Clark, Andrews, Simons and Hussey on the offside defending the singles. And Mitchell Johnson down the fence with a strong arm puts England on the back foot as far as taking that extra single or two. Michael Vaughan. His first one-day international match in 18 months for the England skipper.
The little teaser there from Glenn McGrath was full outside the off stump. Michael Vaughan loves the cover drive, but he's very watchful. England are trying to turn their one-day form around. It's something like in the last 20 ODIs, Bill, they've won 5. And that includes a win against Ireland, which you're not really going to lift the trophy up too proudly, are you? But I mean, they're saying they're in preparation for the World Cup. I don't think that's their focus. They've got to get this right, this particular game.
It's close to wide and called. Ball swinging late as well. Ian Howe, the South African umpire, officiating at the members' end. Bit of swing there for McGrath.
He's not happy with himself, Glenn McGrath. He's got a classic way of having a go at himself. When you see him chuntering away, often he's just sledging himself, no one else. Here he comes again.
Cameron White, the fieldsman at square leg. Brilliant fielding side, the Australians. They catch well on the slip cordon with Ponting, Matthew Hayden. Then you've got that man on screen, number 63, possibly the best all-round fieldsman in the world, Andrew Simons, at the moment. Clark, no slash higher than Hussey. Also, Cameron White's good. So you earn every run. That's the way it should be at this level too. The Commonwealth Band Series, Game 1. It's okay to be conventional, but when you look at the Australian batting lineup, you can't sit back too long. England, you've got to play a natural game naturally, but you've got to work for the boundaries. The strength of Australia is their top order with their batting: Gilchrist, Hayden, Ponting, Clark, Simons and Hussey. They're not going to hang around for too long. Super atmosphere, the crowd roaring around Bay 13, 14.
Got a wave going around. That was banned at the SCG.
Good carry to the keeper. It's none for 3. 2 wickets per match. Good economy rate. That's an excellent performance. When you take the new ball, an average of 20.52. Fumble and a bye.
Close to wide as well from Nathan Bracken. He was just throwing it out there, hoping for the ball to come back to Michael Vaughan, the right-hander. It didn't, but England still get a bonus run. Yeah, Nathan Bracken's worked so hard at his bowling. Right from a youngster, he had the talent, but probably not the strength. And that was strength in his body, probably strength of character, but he's worked very hard on the discipline side, working harder in the nets. And along with his improvement, and now as an experienced player, that hair has grown a bit, hasn't
Pushed away. That's the single. McGrath with a good strong arm. Pitch looks good. The ball carrying through to the keeper. Just a little bit of swing about.
There's a close look again. It's Ian Healy and Mark Nicholas out on the pitch just before the first ball. Ian Healy picked up a couple of sort of grassier areas.
Inside edge. There'll be a boundary. Ball runs for England.
Yeah, first boundary to England, and not terribly convincing from Michael Vaughan. He was just shuffling forward, but still the effect good. And it just seems to me, Bill, that they're taking a fairly placid option at the outset. They're not going to take too many risks. Maybe the idea or the plan from Vaughan is to keep wickets in the bank. So coming into the last 15 overs in particular, try and only lose 2 or maximum 3 wickets to that point. But at some point, I think in these early overs, if you're quickly sizing the pitch up, yes, it's true, I can trust the bounce. Glenn McGrath's being predictable in his length. Nathan Bracken's not swinging the ball. Now I have the courage to take on an aerial stroke down the ground, still minimising the risk, making it more orthodox, but being willing to go in the air. You need to take that risk, I think, particularly when you're taking on Australia.
Well bowled, the angle one across the right-hander. Only 2 men outside the circle the first 15 overs, so you have to play a shot or 2. Australia will slaughter you. They won't sit back on the spice early on. It's the first 10 overs, living in the past there. He advances, misses, over bowled, none for 9. This time they get 2.
Yeah, good running. The Laurie's already mentioned the ability the Australians have in the field. They're so agile, and the right men in the right places. Michael Clarke is at point. You've got Andrew Simons at cover, and his ability to move sideways as well as quickly on the ball if it's dropped to the feet is incredible. Smith is at forward square.
Nice shot. Good fast outfield. They pick up 3.
I've just made up a player. Cameron White's at forward square. White, Smith.
Nicely played, fine. McGrath's the chaser. Won't get there. Good shot.
Yeah, it was nicely played. It was probably a little bit of an edge, but he was still dabbing it down into that region with some control. So Bracken just giving him enough width with this one. No movement through the air. And because of these boundaries that was Taylor brought up with Ricky Ponting at the toss, the rope is in quite a bit here at the MCG. That's the reason it got to the fence.
Whoops. He's a little bit nervous, Michael Vaughan. Not as positive as Strauss in his stroke play so far. His one-day record is not great. Hasn't made 100. Seam upright, seam back.
Well, it's been a trapping of the last few England captains. If you think of Mike Atherton and then Nasser Hussain and now Michael Vaughan, their one-day records were never great. There was always some sort of pressure for them to be more outlandish and up their overall average.
Gone! What a catch! What a ripper of a catch. Matthew Hayden playing a little dab shot. It went fine. Gilchrist didn't move. Hayden went to his right. Super catching.
The trapping of one-day cricket, I suppose. A lot of batsmen, if they're not scoring quickly, think, well, I'll dab it down to third man if I get anything outside the off stump. Very tight, run straight off the edge. It went low and quick. You won't see better at first slip. There was probably a thought that maybe Gilchrist will try and dive for it, but no, at first slip, I'm going to take it, said Haydos. Strauss, who was looking good, departs for 12. It's now 1 for 20.
Ian Bell at the crease, batting at number 3 for England. 1 for 20. We say often enough, catches win matches. This is a great catching side. We talk about their batting and their bowling and their ground fielding, but Hayden has taken a ripper, diving away to his left at first slip. It went very quickly, caught it as clean as a whistle. And England 1 for 20. Gilchrist this time knocks it away. That was going straight to Matthew Hayden. This time I think Gilchrist thought I should have gone for the previous one. Hayden could have had 2 and 2. Well, let off. Good genuine nick. Good bowling from Nathan Bracken. That should have been taken.
I think all keepers work on the philosophy. If they think they can get there, they just go. And there's no doubt that it was going quick again. It's nearly taken Haydos's head off as the end result. But Gilchrist could have caught that. It just got bounced a little bit more. But in all honesty, it was a regulation first slip catch. The way they set up, it was probably going to get to left chest of Matthew Hayden.
That's a good shot. That's what we saw from Michael Vaughan 4 years ago here in Australia. Anything short, he was either cutting or pulling, and he does it as good as anyone in world cricket. And now through the offside, also well timed. That'll be 10 from the over. Good one for Vaughan and for England. 1 for 40. 2. Edge, and Hayden's got another one. And that is a big wicket this time. It's Michael Vaughan again. Once again looking in good form, but undone by Bracken, who now has 2.
Well, it's good bowling because he's just got that little bit of swing into the right-handers, and he's pushing the ball away as well. And that was the classic left-hander to the right-hand batsman, pushed across his body. And it's a good sharp catch. Hayden's done well to get across there. He was on the move, and it's 2 for 47.
Well, it is Kevin Peterson. He'll bat at number 4 for England. Very fine player in both forms of the game. Attacking player. Umpire Ian Howell now, just signalling the first power play. And by that, it means that Australia have opted to use one of their power plays for the next 5 overs. So they can only have 2 men outside that fielding restriction circle. You can see that they don't actually need to have any catching men. Ponting has 2 slips at the moment. He doesn't need to have them.
And there's a lovely stroke. No really solid thrash at the ball there. It was just timing.
And up to date at the moment is Stuart Clark, who replaces Glenn McGrath.
Each of the 2 quicks have bowled 6 overs at the moment. It'll be very interesting to watch Stuart Clark. He's had such a good summer so far in the longer version of the game. It's just a question of whether he can translate that very quickly now back into the limited overs version. And he has in previous times bowled pretty well.
A bit like his test match cricket, he hasn't played a lot at this level of the game, should I say. 31 years old, he's fairly experienced, but only played 19 matches. The economy rate at the moment is 5.5, or close enough to it. Now, that's obviously fairly high. 25 wickets, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes throughout his career, because as Richie Beno is alluding to, he's a very good test match bowler because he's very consistent. There's lots of balls in the right areas. 26 wickets in the Ashes series at 17 apiece was fantastic. To me, he was the bowler of the series in the Ashes series. This will be a different challenge for him. Now the wickets will have a bit flatter. Batsmen will be going at him a lot more. Very consistent. wicket hauls throughout that series. So his confidence will be high, but he'll have to make some adjustments himself to the pacey bowls and maybe even to the lengthy bowls.
Good crowd in so far. It's probably around about the 40,000 mark. Crowds have been magnificent throughout the summer.
I reckon it might grow a bit too, Richie, as the game goes on, particularly if England could post a decent total today. Australia obviously batting later in this game. I think if England could post something around about, well, anything over sort of 230, 240 will give Australia some work to do tonight. And that's when you might see this crowd swell to come in and see Gilchrist and Ponting, Simons, Hussey. And just a single from the over. Good start for Clark. 2 for 54. Eleven matches for Mitchell Johnson so far. He replaces Nathan Bracken from the southern end of the ground. His economy rate also a little bit high, but he only played a handful of games. That can change very quickly. His first match on home soil. Mitchell Johnson.
It's not often Australia has two pacey left-arm bowlers in the one side, and at some stage there'll probably be a bit of a challenge between them if the selectors are looking to leave out a pace man. They might decide to go in with just one left-arm quickie over the wicket.
Strauss and Vaughan, the two men out. Bell's 10 off 24 balls, just that last over. We saw what has been the problem for Bell in this form of the games. Lots of balls hit the fieldsman. What he needs to do is just hit the gaps a little bit more. Now Peterson's on strike. We've got a slight change in the field. Fine leg is up. Now that man has come up inside the circle. That's brilliant. Ponting to his left. He was quick, got down to it and stopped it cleanly.
It's a magnificent piece of fielding. The slide and then the smooth take of the ball was perfectly timed. And then he's up on his feet so quickly, just looking for the possibility of a run out.
Nice piece of bowling from Stuart Clark. That was a lot slower, that one. Yeah, man's gone out to deep forward square leg. Kevin Peterson. See him there in the foreground of that shot. He's there for that, either a pull shot or a flick off the pads. So the fine leg has moved up inside the circle. That man's out there as the sweeper on the leg side.
Two very good fielders on the offside there, saving singles and fours. Michael Clark fielding square of the wicket on the offside, left-hander, so he can cover a lot of ground away towards the slip area. Andrew Simons is the man to cover.
Should get two for that. Peterson's dropped his bat. The Did the right thing though there, Kevin Peterson. Occasionally you see batsmen, when they do drop their bat, they stop, try and pick the thing up. What you've got to do is just keep running through. Put his foot in at the northern end of the ground, turn and got back for 2 comfortably.
Not very elegant.
Turnovers bowl. Simon Towfel standing in his 100th match. Signals the start of the second power play. Take you through those overs, and many more will be Ian Healy and Mark Nicholas.
That'll run away for 4. And that's because there was some width. It is lucky to edge it. The width offered the chance to throw the bat at the ball. Sun shining now here in Melbourne. There was great excitement around the city, people flocking to this amazing stadium, the MCG, and I think wanting a contest too. I mean, there are a lot of English supporters, but a lot of Australians really would like to see a battle here. They'd like to see the game go the distance under lights.
Such a spectacle. We're due a wicket though. We've had enough of this partnership.
And there is the wicket. Ian Healy becomes a prophet. Ian Bell is a goner. The Australians in the crowd can cheer and applaud. And Mitchell Johnson has one of his easier scalps.
Peterson had a go at him early in this over. Now Bell's after him. The field's been kept up. They want to blast over the top. You've got to be good. You've got to get it in the middle of the bat, or you're walking back to the viewing room. 3 down when England probably didn't need it for 73.
Basketball on Fox Sports, the fastest route to the hoop. Headlined by Big Basketball Wednesday, a one-stop basketball shop. We tip off with NBL Wrap, live courtside every week before showtime. Up to 3 live NBL games a week, plus live NBA all season long. Tonight, the Wollongong Hawks host the cellar-dwelling West Sydney Razorbacks. Hawks Razorbacks, 7:30 tonight, live on Fox Sports 2.
This Monday, the best in world tennis rock on court with Fox Sports. Live and active. The Australian Open begins 10:30 Monday morning. Live and active on Fox Sports 2.
The Olympic Series Golden Moments continues on Fox Sports. Including both summer and winter Olympic Games, this series chronicles all the unforgettable moments that best embody the Olympic spirit. From pride to rivalry, from record-breaking to Sydney 2000, each installment forms part of an unprecedented collection of the best Olympic moments. The Olympic Series Golden Moments on Fox Sports 2.
It's Paul Collingwood taking guard. The card actually had Andrew Flintoff to come in at 5. Collingwood's been an effective one-day player. He's just tailed off since his memorable double-hundred in the Adelaide Test. Really, England needs somebody now to play around to Kevin Peterson, to manoeuvre the singles and to keep some pressure on Australia at both ends, so Peterson isn't left feeling as if he's got to do it all himself. Mitchell Johnson is the bowler to Collingwood. There's a slip in place. And that's a nice little afternoon wake-up call for Paul Collingwood. That was pretty quick. 144 Ks. McGrath had just been brought up from long leg too. And Collingwood will come back for the third. 3 for 77. Yeah, having seen He had to go, did Collingwood. It was probably closer than Collingwood had ever realised. Anyway, he's all right. I just wanted to say that having seen a lot of Peterson, both in first-class cricket, look, he's got a way to go. Direct hit, and he was 3-4 metres out. Excellent work, isn't it? And it's as wide as you'll ever see Ricky Ponting throw. Unbelievable athleticism to create the opportunity that even he, for once on the spin, couldn't make more of it.
Couldn't get on his feet. Magnificent left-handed pickup. He was on a knee and the balance not going the right way. He had to rush because Collingwood was getting there. Peterson at the danger end was safe, and he was well wide. But what pressure. They give you nothing.
Another fabulous straight drive. As good as you'll see from Kevin Peterson. Vaughan had a pretty good strike rate, 81, 26 from 32. Peterson has 30 from 36, the same sort of strike rate. The other's not quite so good. That's typical Collingwood, and that's typical Michael Clarke. This is terrific to watch. It's 3 for 89.
In the air, should be out. Oh no, Bracken getting back. No, safe. Picks up 2. Desperation there from Paul Collingwood. Wasn't all that short. It was 146 Ks. That was a problem. It's too quick.
Mitchell Johnson's got almost a wicket to go down in his over. Another brilliant piece of fielding and a little bit of misjudgment by the batsman.
I'm sure what was going on there. They were looking for one. All of a sudden they took off for 2 and it was Clarke. Direct hit. I think he's got him. Gilchrist lets it go through. Here comes the throw. He may have even got him if he'd taken the ball. It was a fair way to slide.
Well hit. There's a man back there though. Oh, it's through him. Cameron White was the man. He was in the right spot. I thought he was going to catch it easily in the end, but in the end I'm not even sure he got a glove on it.
He's looking into the sun. There's his first one. The shadow at the moment is behind him, so straight into the sun maybe. He couldn't get the hammies going. Couldn't get back there, and then he's missed it, lost it in the sun badly. There must be a hole in the stadium that he was looking straight through, or is the sun over the grandstands?
It's over the top. Nicely played from Collingwood, and McGrath won't get there. Nice little chip really from Collingwood, inside out over cover. Looks like Ricky Ponting is going to use the Alan Border philosophy on captaincy. Alan Border used to always say that if you drop a guy, you can come and bowl to him. So that's what Cameron White is going to do here. Drop the catch in Nathan Bracken's last over. Out on the fence. And now he replaces Bracken at the southern end of the ground. He goes after that one, and that's beautifully hit. 10 rows back, straight over, long off.
Well, they've got it up to 8 runs off 4 deliveries. Could have been better. It's a 50 to Peterson. 63 balls. So he's getting the run rate, or his personal run rate, where it needs to be. It's a matter of whether he can go on and add another figure to that 50 and make it triple figures.
He was along the ground this time. There's lots of responsibility on Kevin Peterson. Looking at their top order, if Vaughan can find some form, that will certainly help England. But Peterson's the man who can play the big shots, just like that. Picked the wrong one, went after it, hit it sweetly. Goes again, and that's just as good. Only 3 rows back this time, but once again, a clean strike.
Clean but not in the middle. Sort of inside edgish, I'm sure. Probably a little wrong in that turn from what could have been the middle of Peterson's bat to the inside edge, but still gets it for 6. That was a leg spinner. He thought it was going to spin a little bit more than it did, but he turned his bat nicely. It was pretty central.
This time it's straight. And once again it's 6. That's a brilliant stroke. That wasn't badly bowled from Cameron White. He got it outside leg stump. But Peterson almost hit it inside out, back over his head.
We've seen him do it in the test, so there's no reason why he's not going to do it time and time again in the one-dayers. He's lighting it up. 67 from 70.
Oh, down punt. Running left.
And that 15 from the over, the best one for England so far.
That's good placement from Collingwood. And that's a good stop from Mitchell Johnson. Spring of youth, the speed of youth across the ground too.
People diving everywhere. McGrath had a go, and then there was Bracken coming in, and then finally the ball was pulled back, but a lovely straight down the ground by Collingwood. His innings stalled at the outset, but now that strike rate is up over 60.
Now then, the slower ball has worked for Glenn McGrath. What a clever bit of bowling. Just as he sensed Collingwood was finding his feet, he changed his pace. McGrath wins a little battle. Johnson is the catcher.
It was a beautiful piece of deceit from McGrath. The quicker ball first ball, and then the slower one, probably the split finger job. And it's 4 for 168 with Collingwood gone.
Andrew Flintoff is the new batsman. It's good one-day average. He's mainly been in the middle order. He's had a few goes right at the top of the order. Tried opening, batting at 3. In fact, he opened recently at times in India, but he batted at 3 there. But I like him in a role in the middle order. Now he's still got time to get himself set. We're only into the 38th over. 4 for 168. McGrath the bowler. Afternoon, Freddie.
There's a message in that. They're trying to keep him down after the Ashes series, I think. It's just hello, Freddie. He's shaped up to play it as well.
England need to go 7 and over now to get past the 250 mark. They've got the men at the wicket to do it. Peterson on strike and looking really well now. 70 has. Yet again, McGrath uses the bouncer cleverly.
Only 130 Ks. He's bowling the same pace as Nathan Bracken, and yet it's such a good bouncer. Got the batsman off balance, not quite sure what to do with it.
Thought about 2, but no. Just sticking with a single and a bit of baseball coming out from Peterson. Bit of Babe Ruth. And all summer he's been charging Glenn McGrath. Normally it's been in the white clothing. Now more accepted, I suppose, when the coloured clothing's on. The ball before, though, the bouncer that sort of caught Peterson by surprise, he played it so well. The way he swayed out of the way. On this occasion he thought, well, if he bowls it short again, it's baseball style. And Peterson now getting those twinkle toes going as well.
We're getting well confused with these two strikes at the crease.
That's Freddie, isn't it?
We're a wreck. Just because they're both about 6'4". Run rate of 4.5 and over. England really need to be 5. haven't hit a lot of boundaries, really. 3 sixes, about 13 fours. Fielding has been excellent. I mean, there's no great surprise in that, but that made life difficult for England. Beginning of the innings, Australia closed in on them, had 6 and sometimes 7 fielders saving the single, ringed them, and they couldn't puncture any gaps. It wasn't that England started badly, it was just that they never got a really dominating momentum. Yeah, 13 fours and 3 sixes. And there ought to be a couple in that, and are.
That was an interesting stroke, the way he set up for that. It was a very pronounced front foot, more than normal from Peterson. And McGrath pitched it almost exactly where he wanted it. He's there for the forward shot, front foot shot, and bang, he didn't have to move. And comfortable too. So Peterson in full flight, and really there's no better sight. Terrific player.
We're to giggle up here, but Richie immediately said that's the sort of thing and struck him in the sort of place where he could easily break a rib. He's certainly struggling, in fairness to him. Well, at first I think that there was a sense around the ground there was a bit of cry wolf involved, but I don't think so. I reckon he is battling. Too much sympathy from the Australians who have seen him dancing down the pitch to Glenn McGrath. There's the mark, and the bruise is just starting to erupt. Can't go off, can he? 73 not out from 82 balls.
And it's one of those things, if he keeps going, he'll get through this innings, and it might be tomorrow he can't move, but if he goes on and off and cools down, then he will stiffen up. So he's probably best to keep going. It's not on his left side, so he can hide it a bit so long as he doesn't come down. But this is a look at his innings, what he's been doing out there and how productive he is. And again, we witness the weapon-like batting, why he's so important to this England one-day side.
Very firm hit. What a strike. Now Flintoff has already shown signs that he's not trying to hit the ball too hard, but that he does have his timing with him. That's a fabulous hit by Andrew Flintoff, and he makes it look dead easy. It's sort of stand and deliver stuff, and frightening the bowler.
Slow ball there from Johnson, and picked beautifully. It just sat up perfect for the Flintoff club. That's what I'll call it. He mooses that over mid-wicket. Again, Haydos in the deep, can't get there. You know, and that's smart batting, isn't it? Like, he gets the 4 away. He dabs a single. 199 to England. And I think that's what you'll see from Peterson. I don't think he should throw his wicket. If he can just sort of get the run of ball, still men in the deep. But Flintoff now is looking on song.
Yeah, I mean, much easier for Peterson to keep momentum going and to ensure that Flintoff gets plenty of strike than for a new batsman. 200 up for England. Comes off the 4th ball of the 43rd over of the innings. Built around Peterson's 78. It was 43 from Collingwood. 26 earlier in the day from Michael Vaughan, who played very nicely again. A promising start to his return to international cricket in these last 2 one-day games.
Pretty pretty racy from Mitchell Johnson. All batsmen who face him say that, you know, he's quick. He puts in, he's got a slingy action, quite unusual. He sets into his action early and slings that left arm over. Nice ball of the Johnson over.
It's a call for LBW that umpire Ian Howell isn't interested. 8 from the over, 4 for 201.
Well, for the full shot, gets it away, will be 4, that's well played. Beats the man at short backward square. Good evening in Henley.
G'day, Bill. Beware the injured player. Some of the greatest players in the history of the game played their best when they were injured. Kevin Peterson the same. Getting a workout here, a ribcage workout, but going through with it anyway and gets it for 4.
That's a problem, isn't it? It's a ball that probably Stuart Clark would not normally bowl at this stage of innings, but because he's got that sore rib and also advancing, he drops one in short, pays the penalty.
Bang, high ball, man out there, under it, it's a big catcher, it's Simons, he's got him. The end of a fine innings, what a great outfielder. Caught it as clean as a whistle, 5 for 206.
There was a lot calmer than you, Bill Laurie. Andrew Simons just hovering out on the boundary rope. Just waited, waited, and waited. Down he goes, and up she goes.
Into the crowd. Well caught just inside the rope. Fine innings from Peterson. He's gone for 82 off 91. 5 for 206. Paul Nixon on debut for England at 36 years of age in front of 70,000 people. Clark. Attempted Yorker, well played. Well, Kevin Peterson didn't really get hold of that. It went a mile high and it almost cleared the rope.
Yeah, and he also didn't run. He started walking off. I think he realised it went to Andrew Simons. Hits it not quite as well as he'd like, and then stands his ground. Simons judges it beautifully and takes it very comfortably in the end, but Peterson stood his ground and then ended up walking off. And therefore the batsman didn't cross, which has left Paul Nixon on strike, which is not the smartest bit of play of all time either.
5 runs to the wicket off that Clark over, 5 for 206. Flintoff plays and misses. The pressure on him and all round and out. Very good catch. The ball went very high. It was a long wait, but he judged it superbly.
I was making a point about Pearson. He gave himself some room there to try and get that length ball to hit it for 6. Now, if Andrew Simons drops this ball, it could well have been 3 runs, but Peterson started walking off. He resigned himself to the fact that Simons was going to catch it.
Gone, is he? No, just short. McGrath, backward point.
The draft horse is in the big position. They've tried to change him a few times around the circle. They're trying to find a good fielding position for McGrath. Well stopped in the end, probably saying. And he's got it past the outside edge once and then found the outside edge of Flintoff. Let's count. Well, at last count I counted 5, almost 6 seconds that ball's in the air. And that would feel like 25 seconds for the man who's underneath it. It is not easy. Made it look very easy.
Yeah, look where he caught it. He caught it right underneath the chin, didn't he? I was saying earlier about Matthew Hayden's catch at slip. Ricky Ponting maybe just taking the mickey there, I'd suggest.
Problem here for England. Paul Nixon on debut, wicketkeeper batsman. He's got to get the strike to Flintoff. The overs are ticking by in the 45th over. Big loss, Peterson, a fine 82 off 91 deliveries, a strike rate of 90. That's a fine performance against this Australian attack.
It was a shame he didn't get 100. He hasn't made 100 for something like 31 matches in one-day international, so it would have been a nice start again to his 100 making in one-day cricket, but not to be. Now for 82. Nixon.
Out! Gave it in. Took a while. Looked fun. It was full. That look out. Ian Howe took his time. He's gone for a duck. That's good bowling. Good length.
Mitchell Johnson has bowled beautifully today. He's into his final over. He now has 2 wickets. Only gone for 34 runs, and this is the perfect bowling at the death in these final overs. Full, straight, and a little bit of swing in. Yeah, that's out. He's gone nowhere there, Paul Nixon. That's probably going to hit, well, leg at worst, probably Midland leg. Well deserved. Mitchell Johnson, his second wicket. Nixon's gone for a duck. 6 for 207.
6 for 207. Jamie Dalrymple at the crease. Average of 27. His 14th match. They need a partnership in England. They're 6 for 207. It's a beautiful delivery from Johnson. 2 for 34. That's a fine spell from the young left-hander from Queensland. He's been sharp in the 140s. He's hardly bowled a bad ball. Great start for him.
And he was appropriate for the stage of the innings he was bowling in. He started to get the reverse swing going, got the wicket of Nixon. He tried slower ball, so he's got the lot. He might be firming as a player Australia will trust in those death overs.
Well, he couldn't have done any more, really. He's been on the fringes now for quite a while. 12th man, and we've seen him out in the field during the test matches fielding. Finally got an opportunity to play one day in Australia, and he's bowled beautifully. Here's his second wicket. Yeah, that's out for mine. Going on to hit Midland leg. We've got to give those.
5 overs to go. Went off 1. Dalrymple looking for 2. Not there. Simons, the fieldsman. They have fielded brilliantly, the Australians. The ball saved at backward point cover mid-off. Probably saved 20 to 25 runs. So valuable. Vital overs for England. Massive crowd in.
It's got to be 80,000, I'd say.
I think there was 70,000 in at 3 o'clock, and they expect another 5 or 10 before the night session starts.
You've been manning those turnstiles again.
I've got inside information, Hills, from the secretary. They are delighted with the response to this game.
We've got the 2020 match here tomorrow night too, Bill. The Big Bash final. Victoria playing Tasmania. It'll be interesting to see how many people turn around and come back tomorrow. It's a fantastic crowd. We saw that in the test match here a couple of weeks ago. It was a shame that the game only went for 3 days. It's great to see them all back, and as I was saying, I dare say that a few of them will be back here tomorrow night watching the final of that 20 over game.
Clark charging in. Went off. Down to long off. Just a single. And Simons, with the throw, they fire them back there. Keep you under pressure all the time.
What they've done, Australia, and what they've done really well is they've moved their best fieldsmen into the most likely spots around the ground. Simons is now patrolling a boundary. We saw him take that catch an over or 2 ago. Now we've got McGrath, who's fielding there at mid-wicket. Now he's in where you'd normally have one of your better fieldsmen in the early overs. That's McGrath there right of screen. That's him there, close to there anyway.
He's in there too. He's pumped. McGrath's picking that one up, having a go around the inner circle. Never been there in his career, probably. So they're finding new roles for the elderly.
Well, if Johnson bowling so well, Clark bowls well, there's no certainty that McGrath's going to go to the World Cup. He has to bowl well in this Commonwealth Bank Series. 36 years of age. 37 on the 9th of February.
He could have landed one of the most telling blows of this Commonwealth Bank Series. Cracked the rib of Peterson. He has been good today, McGrath. 9 overs, 1 for 31. With potential debilitation of their best player for the series. So he's going to go to the World Cup and he'll be one of our best.
You want to put your car wash on it, do you?
That's going all right at the moment. I won't.
Yeah, which one's that, Hills?
It's the over bowled, single taken. 46 gone, 6 for 211.
So important, it was so important for Peterson to bat the remainder of these overs out. You can see that since he has left, first Nixon and now Dalrymple finding it difficult to get off strike. Those men that are in the ring, they've just moved in a couple of steps. The fall of that wicket, as Peterson's wicket was that second last one there. All of a sudden the run rate's dropped a bit, they've lost another wicket, and now Dalrymple finding it difficult to get a single, get off strike.
Ball again.
Interesting coverage that after big overs, England have lost a wicket. They'll have to find reasons for it. So after a big over there, after a big over there, and then after a big period here, they've lost a wicket, and then pretty big there. So maybe they've just continued to go a bit hard and taken unnecessary risks.
Gone, is it? No. Maybe helmet. Out, yes, he is. There was a noise. I think it might have been helmet. It was very dull thud. There was definitely a noise, but it didn't sound like that. But he's out. Another wicket has fallen at the MCG. It's 7 for 211.
Short ball coming into vogue. McGrath has stopped Peterson in his tracks. And now it's Dalrymple swishing across the line, expecting something full maybe, but goes through with the shot. Gets one on the helmet through to Gilchrist. He's given out. But good bowling by McGrath. Anyway, 7 for 211.
John Lewis at the crease. England have lost 3 for 5 of 18 deliveries. Batsmen to go. Nixon, Dalrymple and Peterson. There was definitely a dull thud, but was there a glove or bat before it hit him on the helmet? Paul Nixon. There it is. Definitely got the helmet. Wasn't a great appeal by the keeper. He asked the question.
I think you're right, Bill. There's definitely helmet there, but was there a little edge before the helmet? Certainly flicked and deviated off the helmet, which is probably why Gilchrist and McGrath were quite confident.
It's nicely played. That'll bring the big hitter Flintoff on strike. He's got to go now, Flintoff. He's losing wickets, 3 for 6. There it goes. Big hit into the gap. Well placed. Simon's chasing hard, won't make it. Excellent batting. Very clean hit from the big man. Out. Oh, what a catch. What a catch. The skipper diving away. It was mistimed. He flew through the air like a red-hot pigeon. It was a ripper.
Well, pigeons don't fly that well, Bill, surely. That was a brilliant catch from Ponty. He would have been hustling in, looking for the single. In the end, he had to turn around. The ball was skewing away. It was over his head and to his right. Changed directions beautifully. Balanced himself enough to get the dive in. 2 hands. Spectacular catch. Lewis did well, though. Run a ball 9. England 8 for 232.
What a catch. You come to the MCG to see something special. That was special. You saw Hayden early on in the slips. That was beautifully judged. It was mishit. He'd be charging in. Monty Panesar gets a magnificent ovation. Once again, Nathan Bracken doing the job. He's a fine one-day bowler. He's got 3. Around the wicket to Flintoff. Charge. Well struck, but straight down to Simons. Here comes Monty, he'll be gone. Oh, he's gone the wrong end. Too long a throw on that occasion.
Yes, I think the captain was letting him know also. The throw probably should have gone to the bowler's end. Ponting was backing up the bowler's end. As soon as the throw left Simon's hands. He's in the left of screen there. He's yelling at Andrew Simons and saying, mate, the bowling's end. Shortest end's the end to go to.
Whack! Oh, what a good hit. Will go all the way. No, it doesn't. Superb cricket by Andrew Flintoff. Vital runs for England.
He decides this time to go with the swing and the angle. Left arm round the wicket, angled in at the leg stump. I'm going to go with it. He gets a full toss. John Lewis couldn't hit it over the offside. Flintoff nails it towards leg.
Strong man. Big back lift, and he went crunch. Look at it. Up it goes, and bang. Well placed. There's a man at forward square leg. That's Hussey on the ropes. 2 balls remaining for England. There's a man out there to go for 2. Here comes Monty. Monty's off. Safe as a church. Well run.
Yeah, good running there from Panesar. Backed up a long way on that occasion. Was always going to get home comfortably. Which puts Flintoff on strike for the last ball, which is good for England. And they certainly are compiling a competitive total here.
He's 2 or 3 metres out of his crease, Monty Panesar, as you can be now as a non-striker.
Last ball. Not sure whether that was a catch or not. They're coming back for 2. So 12 runs and a wicket off the final over. After 50 overs, England 8 for 242. Run rate of 4.84. That could have been a catch, that last delivery. It's well struck by Flintoff. Clark dived. I think he might have put it down.
Way outside off Andy Flintoff. Bracken doesn't give him any in-swing to work with. Michael Clark fumbles, doesn't know where the ball's gone. And Panesar comes, look at him. He's halfway down the pitch when Bracken's delivering that ball. Fantastic tactics by Panesar. That's why he's been fooling the Australian fieldsman. Flintoff, who has always been a runner ball, really heated it up towards the end, ended up with 47 from 38.
Tonight on Fox Sports 1, live from Centurion, the Proteas and Pakistan. South Africa, Pakistan, first test live, 7:30 tonight. Cricket on Fox Sports. How good is it?
NFL playoffs live on Fox Sports 2. New Orleans Saints versus Philadelphia Eagles. The road to the 41st Super Bowl in Miami. The NFL playoffs, 11:30 Sunday, live on Fox Sports 2.
The rules of the US PGA Tour have changed forever.
Oh my goodness!
Points are now awarded for every tournament, and the world's elite must battle over the course of an entire season to make the playoffs.
How about that?
Every round will be on Fox Sports, and in the end, one man will be left standing with $10 million.
Sure, why not?
The FedEx Cup season, the only place to see every round is on Fox Sports.
Welcome back to Fox Sports highlights of the Commonwealth Bank Limited Overs Series opener between Australia and England at the MCG. After winning the toss and electing to bat, England finished at 8 for 242 after their 50 overs. Let's take a look at the card. They started very cautiously and were determined to see out the innings, which they did. The star of the show was Kevin Peterson, who hit a spectacular 82. Paul Collingwood's 43 was a solid knock, while Andrew Flintoff was just what the tourists needed in the final overs, 47 runs from just 38 balls. The best of the bowlers was Nathan Bracken, the lefty, recording figures of 3 for 46. Mitchell Johnson was good too. He bagged a double, so a target of 243.
Well, welcome back to the MCG to a huge cheer as Adam Gilchrist and Matthew Hayden walk out to bat for Australia, chasing 242 in Commonwealth Bank Series game number 1. The other part of the equation, I suppose, from England's point of view, is that they've now got runs on the board and they would love to strike early. And no great surprise that Andrew Flintoff has the ball in hand, because he's the man most likely to make that early break. So it'll be Flintoff to Gilchrist. be Australia's first run. Well, it's around about this time where it's probably the hardest to bat at the MCG. Just as the sun is starting to dip below the stands, you can see there that half the ground is in shade. Eventually that wicket will be half shade, half sun as well, probably in an over or two's time. And that'll be 4 more. I've got a feeling this might be wides or byes. It's actually 5 wides. There's certainly a bit of swing there for Flintoff, but it did everyone. It did Gilchrist and also did the keeper, who was nowhere near it in the end. You see there, Paul Nixon did not take a step at all, and then eventually, oh hey, it's gone down the leg side. Too late.
Right there, no.
But there certainly is some swing. That's a good sign for Flintoff. Swinging it back in towards the left-hander. Great crowds right throughout this summer. Yeah, they've come up for game number 1, and that's what they want to see from that man. 6s. I saw him hit 5 the other night in the 2020 match.
There's a bit of swing there, but it's not being controlled by Flintoff at the moment. Very long, hard look from Nixon to Flintoff. He's not used to this sort of thing.
No.
Playing in front of 80,000 people. A day-night game with towers of lights around. New experience for the England wicketkeeper.
I think some of them are a bit slow getting back from tee as well, Richie. Quite a few seats on those middle tiers there are empty at the moment, but they'll be full, I dare say, in the next 20 minutes or so. We just ducked out to have something to eat or a drink, taking their time to get back.
No.
Don't want to miss too much of Adam Gilchrist, though. He's the sort of player who just almost sort of clicks his fingers and away he goes. Just needs one shot to get himself started. When he does, he is fantastic to watch. Water swing and a miss. Good bowling from Flintoff. Swung back a little bit, but then held its line off the seam.
Bit of pace in that as well. I think around about the 140 mark, 140 Ks.
Another wide, and it'll be another 5 wides. Well, this is tough work for Nixon. What is happening is, firstly, the ball is wide to start with, but that one swung away from him as well after it went past Gilchrist. 11 runs from the over already, and Gilchrist hasn't made a shot in anger.
Well, it would have gone straight to the man at slip. Interesting time for Nixon. He made a duck on debut, and now there's wides everywhere.
Oh! Just 11 from the over, and both batsmen on naught. So it'll be John Lewis who will bowl the first over from the southern end of the ground. useful stats, those, one-day cricket for John Lewis. Going for under 4 runs per over. Only 9 matches so far. He's only just above medium pace, is John Lewis, so he has to be very accurate. That's why we're only seeing one slip in place. The other catching man is at short cover for Matthew Hayden. That man just to the right of screen there, he's looking for that spoon drive, and just that one slip back there. And Hayden's away. Lovely shot from Gilchrist. Boy, he's good to watch. That's an orthodox back foot cover drive. Beautifully executed. That's through. Once again, it's well timed from Gilchrist. And it won't quite go to pick up 3. Well, it's through again. Well, Paul Nixon's having a nightmare. It's playing a miss and a bye. The ball is certainly swinging after it's going past the bat. So the England keeper is really struggling at the moment. Shot. Just too short from Anderson. But Gilchrist is in good form. Picked it up early and put it away. And now the single. That's good running from Adam Gilchrist. He's home comfortably there. He realised that Flintoff was back on the edge of the circle. Umpire Howell has asked for the third umpire, but I get the feeling that Adam Gilchrist was back near the stump somewhere. I think he's comfortably home here. He realised that Flintoff was very deep.
It's well fielded, and the batsman is well in. Not only with the bat, but with his feet as well.
Well, it's what we see these days. Umpires nearly always call for the third umpire just to make sure that the batsman hasn't lifted his bat up or hasn't done something silly in the running. Gilchrist comfortably home there, though. This time he goes through the gap on the offside. It was in the air, but once again he's timed it well enough. That one all right though, over mid-on, back-to-back boundaries. Look out England, here comes Gilchurch.
This is James Anderson bowling to Adam Gilchrist. Australia have made a splendid start. Mind you, they've had some help. England have bowled indifferently, fielded shabbily, and at times the wicket-keeping has been staggering. So a very difficult start for England. Australia none for 44. That's the batting card. 8 for 242. Michael Vaughan looked in good nick. Peterson played brilliantly for that 82 from 91. Collingwood useful. Flintoff effective at the end there. And all of Australia's bowlers were top class tonight. 2 for McGrath, 3 for Bracken, 1 for Clark, 2 for Mitchell Johnson, who really looked the business. And that's where we are now. Gilchrist has 26. Hayden just a couple. And a very, very strong batting lineup to come. We saw in the 2020 game the other night just how good they can be. Power all the way down that list, including Stuart Clark, who comes in after Cameron White. England have used the 3 bowlers, and there's been a bit of mayhem out there. expectation fulfilled. Strong man and a great timer of a cricket ball. Adam Gilchrist is seeing them big. Yep, the foul play has been called, so England choose to have another period of 5 overs where only 2 fielders may be outside the ring. The one difference, one subtle difference, when this regulation was brought in, was that you don't have to have the 2 attacking fielders after the first 10 overs. Vaughan is choosing to do so, actually, a slip and a short extra cover.
Pitch it up for the swing, that's what happens to it. It's smashed away down the ground. What a good shot.
Fetch that. Won't quite make it for 6. But it's another example of how quickly Adam Gilchrist is picking up the length of the ball. That's an amazing stroke by Matthew Hayden. He's trying to get forward, trying to advance at Flintoff, and then just standing up, rocking back a touch, but to play the pull stroke wide of it on like that, from where he's hit it, extraordinary, really. Oh! That's a biggie!
You've got to love this. Pure again from Gilchrist. He just picks it up off a length. He's such a natural hitter. There are so few batsmen that hit the ball in the air so long consistently as this bloke in the world cricket. He's got this natural skill, an eye that is better than most.
What's a Flintoff? It's not off a slouch.
That is simply magnificent. There was nothing wrong with the ball. It was quite a good delivery. A lot of other batsmen would have played it defensively, perfectly straight bat, and just rolled it down the pitch. And a nice catch. Way, way past the outfield. He's quite delighted about this one.
Be worth a couple. Takes Gilchrist to a supreme 50. He is some striker.
It's a wonderful ovation and congratulations from his teammate. Wicket keeper Paul Nixon. What sort of a day he's having out there.
Oh, that's great bowling, Mons.
Made a duck on his debut. He's playing in front of 80,000 people for the first time in a day-night match with towers all around the ground.
Nice touch. Get another idea of Gilchrist's flexibility. Such a good eye and coordination with his hands. He is a joy to watch. These are golden days for Australian cricket. Masses of people packed into the stadiums all summer, able to see some of the finest cricketers that have ever walked the fields. There's no need to chase it, but we'll make the rope.
Bang, down the ground 4. Through the hands of the bowler. Superb straight driving. Strong man, Matthew Hayden. 4 boundaries to him. 101 without loss. Superb striking of the ball by both these champions in the top order. Got him, yes! Good bowling, good captaincy. The change of tempo. The right arm off spinner gets a big wicket of Adam Gilchrist. It's 101 for 1. Good captaincy.
Very good change all round for England. They desperately needed a wicket. That was for sure. Pushed the field back. Gilchrist still looking to hit the boundaries. Nice little healthy edge and a good catch to Nixon. So he's got his first catch and England got their first wicket. Gilchrist entertains as usual. 60 from 61. Australia 1 for 101.
Ricky Ponting at the crease. Wonderful record, 261 one-day internationals. And top form comes to the crease at 101 for 1. Gilchrist out for 60. Rimple coming over the wicket now to the right-hander. Subi Point coming in.
That's good keeping by Nixon. As we mentioned, his confidence mustn't be too high with the start in the field they've had. He stays with this one. A little bit of spin. Good deflection into the gloves of Nixon, who was there, soft but aggressive enough. And he is pumped. He's back.
Bad ball. Charge. Oh, he's got him. Good work. Well bowled. Threw it up. Monty, you ripper. Has the courage to attack the batsman. He beat Hayden in flight. Stumped by Marl.
I think it was caught behind as well. Very tight offside field. Very tight offside field. All the men that were out on the boundary were on his leg side. That's the left of screen. So he forces Hayden to go through the offside. It doesn't spin. Little outside edge. Nixon takes it. Take him off just in case. Double play to Panesar. Hayden joins Gilchrist. He was 28 off 42. Australia 2 for 113.
Crease. Spinners taking wickets here for England when they were badly needed. Panesar beating Matthew Hayden in flight, got an edge and was stumped also, but obviously out caught. Monty Panesar attacking spinner, getting the ball to loop and bounce, and a little bit of turn. It's a slip, short cover, backward point, covering a mid-off now for Michael Clark batting at number 4. All of a sudden a real hum around the ground. 2 wickets have fallen cheaply. Oh, good start, good line. Well, he did Matthew Hayden in flight. Here comes Hayden, threw it wide, Nick, and then stumped.
Yeah, a bit of drift there too, wasn't there? It's slightly round arm ball again, that one, and drifted away from Hayden. Just shows you how vital that wicket is of Adam Gilchrist. That as soon as Gilchrist went, Panesar was prepared to toss the ball up. The one that got the wicket was about 90 k's, but he's bowled a few around 82, 83 to Hayden. That ball that got him certainly drifted away. Hayden had committed, wasn't there, went through with the shot, was gone. Caught behind first and then stumped by about 2 metres. So out caught behind to Nixon.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It was a taken opportunity by Paul Nixon, but a missed opportunity by Matthew Hayden. He won't like that. The start of 28 off 42 and finds himself out to a careless shot, stranded down the pitch.
Well bowled by Panesar. It's 2 for 113. So the batsman out. Gilchrist for 60, Hayden for 28. The openers are gone. Second power play. Michael Vaughan's taken good time. 2 new batsmen at the crease. Safe. Beautiful stroke play by Ricky Ponting. 1 bounce, almost 6. Superb timing. Just went into that lofted off drive with the field up. Class shot. Pulled away. That's not a good start for Paul Collingwood. That's would annoy the skipper. You bring on a medium pace, he drops in a wrong hop to Ricky Ponting. You've got to get it spot on the money.
It's a marvellous example of Ponting's ability with that pull stroke, because he waits and waits. He almost plays it slow-mo. He knows there's a man back in front of square where he's most likely to hit it. It's Collingwood's slower ball, and as he rolls his wrist, he's fixed a spot well behind square.
Oh yes, Morning, good lad.
He's got a great range when he pulls the ball or hooks it. He's not stuck with one way of playing it. He can get underneath the ball and hit it in the air deliberately, as we saw him do in the 2020 game, or hit on top of it, pick his spot.
This is the fourth over of the second power play. Collingwood, very handy one-day cricketer. Very good field. Fraction two straight again, they'll get two more here. Ponting 21 off 22.
There's the comparison. Australia just dropping off.
Oh, shot. What a shot. The square drive, one of the hardest shots to play in the book. Superbly timed and placed. He's in magnificent form, Ricky Ponting.
Well, they'll still pick it up again. That worm on that chart will be roaring north. And in this stroke, look at the hands. The way the hands guide the ball into the space.
I don't think that's a lot different to the pull shot. Different stroke, yes, but the way he delayed the stroke, the way he had to wait for it to come to him.
Well fielded. 2 for 1, 3 4.
Live today at 11, the world's best golfers face two equally frightening obstacles. A treacherous golf course and the possibility of being beaten by a girl.
Absolutely fantastic.
Round 2 of the Sony Open gets underway live from Hawaii. Will Michelle Wee make her first PGA cut or bow out as the pressure builds?
I don't know, I might shoot something crazy.
Big hitters, big money. Round 2 of the Sony Open, 11 a.m. today, live and exclusive to Fox Sports.
Basketball on Fox Sports, the fastest route to the hoop. Headlined by Big Basketball Wednesday, a one-stop basketball shop. We tip off with NBL Wrap, live courtside every week before showtime. Up to 3 live NBL games a week, plus live NBA all season long. Tonight, the Wollongong Hawks host the cellar-dwelling West Sydney Razorbacks. Hawks Razorbacks, 7:30 tonight, live on Fox Sports 2.
Monday night at 6:30, catch Inside Cricket. Hosts Brendan Julian, Alan Border and guests deliver their uncompromised opinions on the world of cricket.
We were galvanised as a group and very determined, and that everyone stepped up.
The breaking big stories, the big names, and the inside line on everything from the domestic and international scenes. Australian cricket's most credible hour. Monday night at 6:30. Inside Cricket, Fox Sports 1.
Two magnificent boundaries from Ricky Ponting. He's raced at 25 of 24 deliveries. Rimple continues to Michael Clark, who's not set yet, 4 off 12. Maybe a man in at silly point for Michael Clark here. He's not a great starter against spin. Plays spin well once set.
Well, he's also in that position of 4, isn't he? He's been elevated in this one-day batting lineup, and he wants to make 4 his own. So a bit of pressure on.
Through cover, 4 runs. Gave him some width, hitting down the hill. Superbly placed.
Yeah, there's the problem that England are facing, and why even Michael Vaughan's intelligent captaincy is negated, there are just some bad balls being bowled. You get a little bit of pressure going, then there's a wide half volley. You have that last over from Collingwood, a medium pacer, 2 balls there to hit to the boundary, and it just keeps releasing the valve.
So they have to bowl Australia out. I think bring in a silly point, put a little bit of pressure onto Michael Clark's nose. He needs runs at number 4. Tremendous batsmen are coming, Simons and Hussey and Cameron White. Bad ball again. Gets away with it.
Oh, unlucky to get away with it. I think Michael Clark on that occasion was trying to smash the height off the ball. He really wound up and it just got too far outside leg stump. He's having a chuckle. Everyone's busy out there at the moment. The Aussie batsmen are busy. They're scampering between the wickets, making the most of any genuine loose delivery. Little Rimple trying to make up for that fall through the offside with some inspired fielding.
It's well run. To go back to Flint off his strike bowlers here. They need to get in the middle order quickly. 2 dashes at the crease. The last ball of the second power play. It's 2 for 140. Hello. They're asking a question here. Last ball of the previous over, there was a shy at the stumps by the bowler. Ponting's bat was over the line, but it was on the back half of the bat. And the Englishman quite rightly asked the question. Third umpire says not out.
Well, the extraordinary thing about it was the bow of the bat. The toe end of the bat is raised, and that's why England thought they had a chance. There's a bit of daylight there, but there was also bat across the line.
Fine shot, wasn't all that short.
No, it wasn't, Bill. Major part of Michael Clark's game is his quick feet. Quick feet allow you to get into that position and play a pull shot to a ball that's fairly full. It was pushed through. He made it look easy, but that's a remarkable stroke. Just how quickly he got through the ball.
Oh, he goes for the pull shot, bottom edge, lucky 4 runs.
Well, Freddie needs it to turn for him. It's been a desperate tour in many ways, and he could just do with some real breaks. When you think back to Brisbane in that first test, when he carried the English attack, I mean, how he could do with that going onto the stumps. It will turn for him. Heaven knows when, but it will, and then he'll be back amongst the wickets. He's hinting at being back amongst the runs.
Oh dear, oh dear. Lewis.
Well, things are going from bad to worse for England. And I'm not in this case talking about this bit of fielding or that stroke. We've got a press release here from the English Cricket Board, and it isn't good news. Scans reveal that Kevin Pietersen has a fracture to his right side rib. He's 3 to 5 weeks to recover. He is out for the rest of this one-day series. Kevin Pietersen is out for the rest of the series. That is a really depressing bit of news. Firstly, he's such a pleasure to watch. Secondly, he's so important to England. Thirdly, that blow to the ribs won't just have set him back, it would have set the whole of this touring party back.
That's through. Nicely played from Ponting. Just opened the face of the blade to place that ball wide mid-off. Lovely shot. gives you a pretty good idea of how far in front Australia are in this game. 2 for 181 they are, 32 overs. England at the same time, 3 for 127. Ponting on 49 and on strike.
Flintoff brings mid on up. Wentel comes up just to prevent the easy single. Will he go over?
No, he goes through. Oh no. Well stopped in the end. But that's 50 for Ponting. A well-controlled 50. Just 5 boundaries in it, but plenty of control.
It's a little bit distracted to me, Ricky Ponting. I think he's done some stretches in the last couple of overs. A quadricep, by the look of it, he's bringing his foot up behind his leg. He's taking it pretty easy between the wickets. He might have to nurse that through.
I don't think there's any doubt he's got a problem, Ponting, because there was a moment 2 overs ago where he shook his head to Michael Clark for a short run. It's all right there because Clark is going to the danger end, but there was certainly a conversation between them. They went and had a chat at the end of the over, and there was a bit of head shaking going on.
Does drag his left leg a bit in there. He's just taking it very easily, trying to stay in control of everything. That's when it's the worst too. When you've got some sort of muscle strain, the fielder's thrown the ball in, you've got to make it. You can't just control a straight line running when the ball's coming in and you've got to make it crease. That's when you do overstride and overstretch and lose that muscular control. See what his stroke plays like.
Now England may have sensed it as well. Throw there to Ponting's end, even though there was no chance of a run out. Just make him work a bit harder. A lovely shot through the offside there. One in particular off the slower bowlers, over mid-off. That will finish Panesar's spell. 1 for 46 for the left-arm spinner. It's 2 for 187.
James Anderson hasn't been, or has been, anything but a centrepiece on this tour.
Straight at 2 for 188, and the bowling figures for England, well, in the early part, reflect that. Flintoff 48 from 6, and Lewis 27 from 5, Anderson 28, and he's only into his 5th now. Monty Panesar did a good job, 1 for 46 from 10. He's the only one to bowl out his full 10 so far. And Jamie Dalrymple also. The 2 spinners are the ones who've really done well. 8 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 26. That's a good performance in what has been a hectic display of batting.
Well, that's fine, and that's 4. Ponting taxes you in so many ways. James Anderson, throughout this tour, has bowled well at times, but just struggles to bowl 6 balls in the same spot. This one angling in towards the stumps, just drifting in the leg, and Ponting tucks him away for 4.
He hurt them early, driving through covers, front foot and back foot. Tell you what, James Anderson will cop it here. He moved dangerously there and got in Ponting's way in that run. That is misbehaviour. 2 for 196.
Might get 2 more here. No, Michael Vaughan did really well there.
2 for 200. It's number 9 at the bowling crease, isn't it? Jimmy Anderson. Got in Ricky Ponting's way. Not good.
Not sure who the problem was there. Was it Jimmy Anderson or the umpire? Ian Howell might have got in the road of Ponting at one stage, but certainly fired the batsman up last over. A few words exchanged. Nothing more than that, though.
See where he finished in his follow through there. He was well inside the cut stuff of the pitch. Watch this time. He takes a step off. Yeah, thank you. Just a little annoyance. Ponting doesn't need anything to make him change direction quickly while he's got this quad niggle. So we'll stick with verbal niggle.
He just took the QE2 turning circle, that's all. Just a little bit of a wide one. May have a problem now with the ball. I'm not sure who instigated that. I think it may well have been Ian Howell, the umpire, who asked for the ball. I've got a feeling it may have got changed there. We may have a whiter ball. The umpire may have felt that one got a little bit discoloured. There's been a straight change. These white balls do tend to pick up the dust and the green from the turf, and you can see that is the old ball there. Has scuffed up rather badly. That white paint tends to flake a little bit, and then the dirt is picked up by what's underneath, the leather underneath. It does make it a bit difficult to see at times. So that ball has now been changed.
I've never seen the batsman unaware that the ball was getting changed. Ricky came down the crease, just then came down the pitch and said, is that the same ball? After the first ball he faced with the new one. I don't think it got changed in England's batting innings, and it was quite an old ball that Mitchell Johnson, Glenn McGrath and Stuart Clark were starting to operate with towards the end.
It's in the air, but safe. Not quite out of the middle from Ponting. Panasar will do chase, and they'll get 3. 2 for 204.
Dalrymple is operating, Ponting on strike. Boundaries are protected, not down the ground, about there. And Ponting helps himself. Magnificent shot. Once again finds the gap, which he's done all night just about. He's striking at 100 runs per 100 balls and just turning it on in a very classy manner. As Bill Laurie, talking about class, joins me with Michael Slater.
What a super cricketer. Great use of the feet, great placement. Oh, just short. Lewis, not the greatest fieldsman in the world. It was a difficult one. The over bowl, 10 overs gone for Dalrymple, 2 for 212. James Anderson, 100 partnership. Lewis a fieldsman. I thought the previous over was a half a chance to Lewis. The ball followed him around. He dropped the catch at Sydney Cricket Ground. This one was hit hard and low. Did it carry? No, it didn't.
No, just short. But at the moment, his hands are as hard as Lennox Lewis. He's really going hard at the cherry. Amazing when it's not going right. The ball just tends to follow you around. Ponting on strike.
James Anderson shows a lot of promise. He needs some work. He's just got to get it right. Got to get that outswinger going. He's been fired up out there at the moment. He's one of the guys that can really lift. That's not a bad record. His economy rate just a fraction high, but hasn't played a lot of matches.
Anderson, but he's the most experienced bowler in this unit here tonight for England, which is quite remarkable.
There it goes, over, long off, not all the way. It'll be four. Full face of the bat by Ponting. The control of those shots. Superb batting.
Doesn't matter how much experience you've got. When you're in poor form, you're in poor form. And James Anderson cannot hold a spell for any more than one ball. He's bowled one good one, then he over pitches and Ponting nails him.
"13 runs for the Aussies to get. At this stage, Andrew Symonds is thinking, finish the job, boys. I don't really want to come out here and be 5 not out. And there'll be a slight delay because some fool has decided to run onto the pitch.
Could be out. Oh no. Oh dear, and it's poor old John Lewis. The ball does follow you around.
Well, we saw early in this over, Michael Vaughan brought those two men up. They're in quite weird fielding positions, about almost 2/3 of the way to the boundary. Two of them. Collingwood gets the shot out of Michael Clarke and Lewis doesn't capitalise on it.
They've really got to see it in the air and just almost run in towards the ball and try and create an opportunity.
Wonderful batting card, 60, 28, 78 not out, 49 not out, chasing 243 for victory. Great start to the series by the Australian team. The bowlers did the job. Nathan Bracken the best, 3. Well played, Michael Clarke.
You talk about take opportunities. This young man has done so much this summer to cement his place in both forms of the game.
Oh, there it is, great shot. They'll pick up 2, or they might get 3 in this field. No, they'll settle for 2.
Well, there were heard rumours before the game that Dal Rimple might be a bit of a liability in the field, and hasn't really been exposed until now. It's a tough chase, but
that's the over bowled. 1 run to win, 8 wickets in hand. Partnership are worth 128. I guess we expected Australia to win, but this has been a big win. They bowled in without 8 for 242 on a good batting pitch when they won the toss early on, and their batting has been superb.
How much have they got up their sleeve? That's the worrying aspect for England. This partnership's been good, but it's 129 off 161. They haven't had to push. They haven't bothered to push. They can still push. And then they've got Symonds, Hussey, White to come in and clobber. This crowd has been very, very good for the Australians. They're all out there enjoying the nightlife.
yeah, Ricky Ponting said at the toss that they haven't played a one-dayer for a while, so they just see how it goes. Obviously wanted to start in fine fashion. They have done tonight. More the question, where do England go from here? I mean, their ideas board must be full. They're pulling in the 10th. Well, they keep wiping it clear and starting all over again.
Dot ball. Well, got New Zealand on Sunday. That'll be interesting. I fancy New Zealand always against Australia. They're well led. They seem to lift themselves when they're playing against the Australian side. So it'll be an interesting game at Bellerive on Sunday.
The real important part of that clash will be Australians' quicks against the New Zealand top and middle order, which has been fragile at times against the Australians. Brett Lee loves to rip into the New Zealanders, so will he be back? No, he's already been ruled out. There's one they haven't got to contend with.
There it is with the 4. Wonderful effort by the Australian team. They were odds-on favourites and they've played like odds-on favourites. They bowled and caught superbly, and now the batsmen have crushed England in the 46th over, 2 for 246, Ponting 82, Clark 57 not out. Well played, Australia.
And this is the way it finished. England won the toss and made 242. Kevin Peterson top scored with 82. Andrew Flintoff hit 47 not out, while Nathan Bracken bagged 3 wickets. For the Aussies, Ricky Ponting was again superb, so too Adam Gilchrist and Michael Clark. All 3 recorded half-centuries made easier by a fielding display that lacked class.